let's get some power on this baby. This is the single most important, literally the single most important. See, they're wrapped beautifully.
Perfect.
This right here, this is the single most important, literally the single most important mod that you can do to any all-wheel drive BMW. This right here. And ooh, I can't wait to unbox it to show you. If you have any type of all-wheel drive car where the front wheels are driven by a transfer case and the power is sent through the transfer case through the mini drive shaft up to the front axle, this is the most important thing you can do, because if not, your transmission and sometimes your engine is gonna go bye-bye. And I'm gonna explain to you why that is as soon as I open this box. So let's get this baby open. It comes double boxed. Nice. Slide this baby open. Throw this side out to the side, and then we can slide that out right there. Oh yeah. So full torque drive shafts in conjunction with Tony C. You cannot buy this directly from full torque drive shafts. And this is not the same. It may look the same as the factory front drive shaft, but it's far from it. And that's because it comes with a more robust shaft, as you can see, and it has serviceable upgraded U-joints. These are not standard U-joints on the front and rear. These U-joints here are upgraded heavy duty U-joints. And when I pull the factory front drive shaft out, I'm gonna compare the two so you can see the difference. So you never, and the main thing, what makes this drive shaft better than the factory is this part here. As you can see, the splines are a lot longer. The spline shaft is a lot longer, so it gets deeper penetration. I'm gonna repeat that. Deeper penetration into the front drive shaft, and to the front axle, I meant, you know, the front drive axle or front pumpkin, or however you want to say it, you know. And this is what goes bad, you know. It's a conjunction between these U-joints and this front spline. These U-joints are unserviceable on the factory drive shaft, front drive shaft. So when the grease and oil or whatever they put in it dries out, it starts to lock up. And this front piece here is about half this length. So it's easy for it to walk itself out because it can't articulate anymore because it's dry. You know, so it seizes up and it walks itself out. And when this front drive shaft walks itself out, it causes catastrophic damage. And I'm gonna show you on a few pictures right here the type of damage it caused. Let's get the old one out so we can compare the two. Up she goes. Boom. Up and out. So let's get up under here. All right, so I'm up under the car now. That's the passenger side front wheel. And believe me, if you on jack stands, you pretty much sliding up under the car on the ground. There's no room, like, and I got those jack stands set pretty high, as you can see, but it's still not a lot of room up here. So I feel bad for anybody even on ramps. So first we want to take this plate out right here, and those will be 16mm bolts. I think it's about 6 of those. And then once you take those six bolts out, you're gonna take these 3 bolts out here. Well, it was the same 3, but I had Tony's drive shaft catch on before, so I'm gonna put a video up about that drive shaft catch when I installed that. But now I'm gonna install his drive shaft and take this factory one out, as you can see it here. You know, so I'm gonna take this bolt out right here. That's a hex bolt, but it's usually this 8 millimeter bolt right here. So I'm gonna take all 3 of those out, and then I remove one more shield, and then on the, let me scoot back a little bit more, cause believe me gang, it ain't a lot of room in here. Trust me, it's not a lot of room. Let me turn this light on. Ooh, feel like I'm back in a dungeon. All right, light on. If I can even get in there. I don't know if, like my camera way too big for to fit up in there, but right on the end of this shaft, as you can see, it goes in by splines on that end. It's a spline end that slips into the transfer case, but on this end it's 4 E12 socket bolts, so you need an E12 socket to take those off. Then you can slide this drive shaft out. But I will be having the, a link for Tony's video. His install video is a lot more in-depth, and he has more room up under the truck while he's doing it. So you can watch my video and his video. You watch both of them, you can take this thing out like a pro. So I'm finna get this thing out so we can compare them. All right, so we have it out. You know, it's a big fan behind me, so I'm sorry if you guys hear fan noise, but right off bat, you can see BMW F up. Look how small these splines are. Look at that. That's a damn shame. BMW, that's a damn shame. And as you can see, it's a totally different U-joint. We have serviceable U-joints now. And just a way beefier part, and I mean just way beefier in general. So if you have an X-Drive car, definitely upgrade to Tony C's front drive shaft. This is the ultimate race front drive shaft, built for power. I'm going to be racing this with this drive shaft on a 1,000 plus all-wheel horsepower car. So you know this thing is definitely built to be punished, unlike the factory one. You know, even if you're not racing, you got to upgrade this, because if not, this is going to slip out with these short splines, and you're going to cause catastrophic damage, like the pictures I showed you earlier. And you can see here on the rear how it's built thicker and tougher. As you can see here on the sides too. It's just a way better overall, you know, overall build. So I'm gonna have the link where you guys can order this from. You know, because you can't order it directly from Full Torque drive shafts. You have to order it from Tony, because this is both of their designs together. You know, so you can order it from him, and Full Torque is send it out to you. And because they don't even have this listed on their website. You know, it's a specialty part. You know, and I'm gonna have the link though, and I'm also put the link down for Tony's in-depth installation. You know, because he has a lot more, you know, video footage of actually taking this thing out. You know, I showed you guys how to take it out, but he actually taking it out, because my camera can't fit in that small space. And just like magic, we got it in, all the way in. And I'm gonna tell you guys an easy way to get this in, the easiest way for me to get this in. So once you take these bolts out, yeah, right there, those bolts, you want to take that out and push it towards the driver's side exhaust. And when you got it up towards the driver's side exhaust right there, where you can see with the heat wrap, you can push it up a little bit, and then it'll slide all the way out. We got all the bolts in, and make sure that you put blue Loctite on those bolts, and make sure you put anti-seize on that end down there before you slip it in. And the easiest way to get this drive shaft back in is to, you see that gap right here in the in front of the transfer case? the transfer case subframe here for the transfer case, you want to put the spline in directly in that hole, and it'll scoop back enough for you to get this front end up in there. Then you can just slip the spline in inside, slip that spline in inside, and then this piece up front drops right on, and then all you have to do is bolt it down. I mean, it's super easy to get in, super easy to get in. And the only things you have to take off again is that shield that goes over the oil pan. It's a little baby shield that goes over here, and then one more even smaller shield that this transmission line right here connects to. Those 3 shields out, and boom, you don't have to take the exhaust loose or nothing. So I'm gonna come from up under this truck and show you the actual shields that you have to take out. Yeah, that's the shield that sits on the engine. This is that little shield that holds that transmission line, or I think it's a transmission line. It is some oil line in there. And then this little shield right where I set it at, right here. This little shield sits on that the back part of the subframe, you know, and it's so easy. All 3 shields, this is the hardware for all 3 of those shields. Those few bolts there, and those couple bolts right there. Those few bolts right there. So it's not a lot to take out. But I'm finna go ahead and put those shields back up, and then we finna get a couple pulls in and see how it feels. Woo! So we got the drive shaft, the front shaft in, and I just came down this street. So I only been like 1/8 of a, you know, really just a couple 100 feet, you know, if that. And it's riding smooth, extremely smooth. So, but we finna test this, man. We finna test this MF for here, guaranteed. Hey, Tony, we finna test this race drive shaft you got. All right, currently we doing 83 in Mexico, and it's riding smooth. And we got this raggedy ass Camaro up here want to play with me. So I'm gonna give him all the smoke he asking for in a minute here, gang. This Camaro here want to play this game. Soon he better hope traffic don't clear up here in Mexico, because I got some for him. But the drive shaft super smooth. I'm doing 81 and it's no vibration. The only vibration I get is a slight vibration from the H&R wheel spacers, because they not 100% hub centric. So I'm gonna switch those to the SCC wheel spacers and get away from the H&R, you know, so I don't get this little vibration in the rear wheels. Because that just them couple of millimeters that is not hub centric, you know, that'll cause vibration, and that's exactly what I'm getting. So I'm gonna get rid of those. But let's get some power on this baby. Yeah, he's scared, gang. He's scared. I had to get off though before I missed my exit, but he was scared. Hey, I was on the back of his neck like a damn like a barber. I was on the back of his neck like a barber, boy. Look at, he ain't know what to do. Stop playing with me, man.
The next day.
So it's the next day, you know, I took Sasha back, you know, let her cool down, you know, relax. The drive shaft is A1. Anybody, if you're doing an all-wheel drive build or you have an all-wheel drive car, you need to switch that front drive shaft, you know, because, I mean, you can do your research on your own. I'm surprised it's not a class action lawsuit out, because those things pop out and cause catastrophic damage, man. And it's a simple shame the small steps that could have been taken to rectify this problem before it even happened, you know, or to stop this problem from happening before it even happened. I mean, it's crazy. But yeah, man, links will be down in the description. But if you don't know, I received the F90 intercoolers. I put that on another video, the unboxing for those and showing you that Sasha had full power. I put that video link down in the description too. But everybody was asking me, you gonna wrap them gold? You gonna wrap them with the DEI gold? The gold looked good on the F10 intercoolers. They looked real nice. So, you know, it's not just an aesthetic thing. For me, it's both, but it's not just aesthetic, you know, because that gold heat, that gold DEI foil heat shield, it reduces temps up to 30 degrees plus. Here are the coolers, and as you can see, they're wrapped beautifully. Sorry if the camera keep twisting it. I mean, the angle like real crazy on this gimbal. But yeah, if you doing DEI stuff like this and you want it to look good without all of those lines, stop being cheap and stop buying the tape and buy the sheet. It is more expensive by the sheet, but I mean the job speaks for itself. And these, all four sides was wrapped individually, so it's not just one sheet going all around. I'm just that good, as you can see. But yeah, it turned out gorgeous. And this is extremely functional. You know, when the inner chiller is pumping cold fluid through these coolers, it's not gonna get radiant heat from the engine bay. You know, that's gonna cut that down by 30 degrees, you know, to keep the fluid inside even cooler, to cool down those charged air temps. But yeah, those are the F90 coolers. I can't wait till I put them on. Gorgeous. You know, we definitely getting parts in and installing parts, you know, for this massive undertaking, you know, the redo. I'm calling this the redo, because I mean, we pretty much redoing everything, you know, forged engine parts, everything getting redone with stronger, you know, stronger parts I never even knew existed for the BMW platform. So like we so far out in uncharted water till it don't even make no sense. But I can guarantee you one thing, that this SUV will be the most powerful BMW SUV ever in BMW SUV existence. It'll never be another BMW this powerful, you know. And I don't even think an electric one would be more powerful as this one. So like, share, subscribe, and when those other parts get in, we're gonna pop the engine out, put them in, and get straight to the moon. So auto lust out.